In terms of identifying what's down here, there are a few things you can do. One is look for recurring patterns in your life. Identify recurring patterns in your life. If you look at, say, the typical relationship you might find yourself in, it's possible that all your relationships just kind of look the same. This can be traced back to, as an example, a core belief. It can be traced back to a lot of things, but let's take the core belief example. Say as a child you're looking up at your parents, at their relationship. Let's say it's very toxic. You don't know any better, you're looking up and you're like, oh, I guess that's love, that's a relationship. And then in your life, for some reason, you only fall for people where there's a lot of toxicity. And you're like, why does this keep happening? Subconsciously, you're staying congruent to that belief that a relationship, love, is toxic, it's fighting, it's drama. If your parents might have split, you might have formed, love is abandonment. And then you're falling for people who cheat on you, long distance, people you're not meant to be with, to stay congruent to that. So if you look at different patterns, you're like, why does that keep happening to me? Do I keep doing this? Any pattern, you can usually trace it back to a core belief, whether it's about the world or that core identity that runs you. So looking for patterns is key, right? And we think here too, by the way, that every day is a new day, but that's not true. In our lives, it's a lot of, you could say, Groundhog Day, where we relive the same patterns again and again and again. At a surface, it seems like everything's changing, but at a core, it's the same patterns on repeat. It's the same patterns on repeat, honestly, since your childhood, right? If you audit, say, how much confidence you had, during your childhood, that's probably the same amount of confidence you tend to have in your adult life. Same dynamics. If you look at the group of friends you had in your childhood, you might have been no friends. You might have been the leader. You might have been the number two. You might have been the class clown, right? The funny person, or the third, fourth wheel. And for some reason in your adult life, you might still find yourself and recreate situations to put yourself in that role. So recurring patterns, super key. Also, identify when you get triggered. Okay? Getting triggered, a term that everyone uses nowadays, but what does it really mean? Whenever you get triggered, it's when your response is disproportionate to reality. That's it. Getting triggered is when your response is disproportionate to reality. And you can use this to your advantage. What is actually getting triggered? It's when something that was down here starts coming up closer and closer into your awareness. So say we take you being loud, the aspect of you that is loud. Say you disown that. Never be loud. And then you've been living this very quiet, through this quiet front. What most people do is they then try to force being loud. No. You identify, why am I not loud? So there's the aspect you disowned. If you put yourself in a situation that forces you to embody this, you will experience getting triggered. And that's where this starts coming up closer to your awareness, and you actually feel that same life or death survival instinct kick in, and in reality amplified, but the same reaction you had when you originally disowned it. Say you're a kid. Hey, what's up? Your parent, be quiet. I'm going to die. Never be loud again. Adult life, you're in a situation. Hey, be loud again. The same life or death you experienced as a kid, you'll experience it now. And this is where you must audit, is my response to reality appropriate? Yes or no? I've seen this for years when it comes to socializing. Say going up and saying hi to a stranger, where people feel like they are literally going to die if they take action on it. Go say hi to that person, right? Or say we're in line, for example, at a Starbucks or something. Hey, sing a song. Guaranteed, most of you, if you were alone in line at a Starbucks and it's a long line and everyone's very quiet and you start singing, you're going to feel like you're going to die. Now, objectively looking at the situation, are you going to die if you do that? Yes or no? No. So your response is disproportionate to reality. It has nothing to do with what's out there. It's something in here. Now, and this is actually where you can actually use social anxiety challenges to your benefit. What do most people do? They try to put themselves in those situations to numb themselves, right? Social anxiety challenges to numb, to get used to it, or live off the high, as we talked about. But say you use challenges to trigger yourself. Not to numb yourself, but to bring this a little closer to your awareness. Because guess what? It's a lot easier to catch it here than way down there. Okay, so one formula that I teach all my clients when it comes to letting go is action, trigger, release, repeat. Okay, action, trigger, release, repeat. You take action that will then trigger something that you disowned. Could even just be stifledness. I mean, say hi to this person, feel stifled. And then instead of battling through or trying to, go to my happy place and numb it, now that it's closer into my awareness, I can then let go of it and repeat. So when we hear letting go, we tend to think it's just, you sitting at home meditating, letting go. No. It's coupled with action. It's a very active process. Okay? And then one more thing here when you're getting triggered, this means go and actually proactively trigger yourself. It's not bad to get triggered. Go do it. But then do let go after the fact. And remember that the fear or whatever you experience when you're triggered is a bluff. Face fear's bluff. It's like, imagine you've been taught from a young age there's a monster in the closet. All of society's been telling you there's a monster in the closet. You never check the closet. Here I am, go open the closet. You're going to experience that same fear. Like, face it, and then, there's no monster. Free. So don't try to avoid getting triggered. That's what people do. They try to design their lives so they don't get triggered or numb themselves to it. No. Go get triggered to then let go.